Yeah, it's just making everything word for word. Oh. On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Rick Lee Patterson, file number is 21-03510. Council appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Amanda O'Boyle appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And Your Honor, good morning. Tom Piotrowski, P40021, on behalf of Rick Patterson. Mr. Patterson, would you identify yourself, please, by stating your name? And you might have to unmute yourself, please. Rick, you have to unmute yourself. Try it again, Rick. You're still muted. There you go.
Oh. My name is Rick Patterson.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Today was the date that was set for sentencing. I do have a pre-sentence report and recommendation here. Did you get a copy of that, Mr. Piotrowski?
I have, Your Honor, and I've also had a chance to review that with my client. There are no additions, corrections, nor deletions. With regard to the recommendation, we would ask the court to adopt the recommendation. I have just one brief question, and it has to do with the conditions, and that is allowing medical marijuana. Mr. Patterson, excuse me, has had his medical marijuana card for about 10 to 12 years. I think somewhere in the pre-sentence report, it talks about the number of surgeries. I think it's upwards of 50 that Mr. Patterson has gone through. I would ask the court to allow, obviously with a presentation of a valid card to the probation department, to allow him to still use medical marijuana.
Okay, I'm just trying to see where in the pre-sentence report it addresses his use of medical marijuana.
It may not.
Okay. Okay, did your client wish to make a statement at all?
Mr. Patterson,
Yes, sir.
do you wish to make a statement at this time?
I don't know if it says in the report that I medical marijuana or not, but I did it at night so I can sleep. I have PTSD and lupus and high anxiety, and that's why I use it.
Any other statement you would like to make?
Just that this was a one-time thing, and I'm really sorry. And yeah, I'm gonna face music and get what I need to get done to get through this.
Thank you.
I've had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence and report and the recommendation from the probation department, as well as the assessment that was provided to the court. There was a commonality in both the assessment and the pre-sentence report, and that is that Mr. Patterson, you don't believe you have a problem that needs to be addressed. Is that correct?
As far as with what, ma'am? I'm sorry.
Well, you were originally charged with operating while visibly impaired. You pled guilty to an impaired driving. You at the time were asleep behind the wheel of a vehicle with a 0.17 blood alcohol content. And I recognize that you gave the explanation that you mixed some prescription medication with alcohol, but that you don't believe that you have a problem that needs to be addressed or that could be addressed by a course of treatment ordered under probation. Is that your position, is what my question is?
That was taken out of context a little bit. The medication that I was on was given to me 2 days prior to that incident. I went in for surgery on the 27th, and that medication stated on that I wasn't to drink, or I can't remember what the other thing was on there while on this medication. And it's my fault. I did not read on the label that it says not to drink, that it may cause drowsiness. And I took it. I had to have gastric bypass surgery revision 2 days after that incident on the 25th. I had surgery on the 27th.
Okay.
That's what that was from. And
Okay.
no, I don't have a problem with medications or anything like that. And I don't take outside street drugs or anything like that.
Okay, well, I do believe that this could be a situation where it was just a really poor choice in judgment that day, which you're not reading the medication requirements and then mixing it with alcohol. I mean, that could have been lethal, but thankfully it was not. But it still resulted in an unfortunate event, which brought you before the court today. Recommendation from the probation department is for you to serve a term of 9 months probation. I don't know under these circumstances if that's necessary. I would like to have an opportunity just to monitor and see if there is an alcohol abuse issue. And so I am going to place you on a short term of probation. I'm only going to give you 90 days so that I can see your progress and make sure that I'm not missing anything or that the assessment didn't miss anything. Again, the assessment and the impressions from the probation officer was that you might be minimizing an issue. I would like to have an opportunity to see that for myself. And so I'm going to do 3 months probation. I'm not going to order you to participate in any treatment at this time, but you will be required to submit to random preliminary breath tests and your analysis while on probation. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And I recognize that you have a medical marijuana card. You need to provide a copy of that valid medical marijuana card to your probation officer.
If it is the court, I would like to restrict that for the from the time I'm on probation. I would like to restrict that so I can show the court that I am doing what you're asking me to do.
And that's absolutely fine, but I do recognize that you do have a valid card and that you probably use that for some maintenance of some other issues, like you stated, for you to go to sleep. And so if you find yourself having a slip up as it relates to medical marijuana, so long as you provide a valid card to your probation officer, you will not be violated for your probation, okay? But if you want to, yeah, you won't be violated from probation if you provide a valid medical marijuana card. Right now, I'm focusing on any illegal controlled substances that you don't have a valid prescription for, and alcohol use. That's my concern right now, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. And so while on probation, you're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're also not to use, purchase, or possess a firearm or dangerous weapon. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's a $30 per month oversight fee that you would be responsible for while on probation. Do you have any questions so far about the probation requirements?
No, Your Honor.
Are you currently employed, sir?
I work not very much. I'm on permanent disability and I work like part-time deal on a farm. And yeah, I drive like a tractor or whatever to mow the yard and to do various things around the farm, just extra in to get through.
So again, at this time, I'm not going to order any rehabilitative services. If for some reason we find that that's necessary, then that can be ordered during the course of your probation. Okay, sir?
Okay, Your Honor.
Okay, and so as to fines and costs, there's a $75 crime victim rights fee that I must assess, as well as a $50 state minimum cost that by statute I need to assess. You have a large amount of OWI cost recovery here. It says you owe $1,299.18 to the Lansing Police Department for responding to this incident. So that's going to be ordered as restitution, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to waive any discretionary fines and costs. Probation oversight fees for 3 months will amount to $90. It's a total of $1,489.18, and you'll be able to make monthly payments on that, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate that.
No problem. You'll get a call from probation. They'll go over my order that I just discussed with you today. They'll also discuss with you the monthly payment arrangements and get you squared away for your 90 days. So if you were in person, you get a copy of this advice of rights for early discharge from probation. It says you have been sentenced to a term of probation in the 54A District Court. The probation conditions have been individually tailored and are specific to address your assessed risks and needs. except for domestic violence, criminal sex crime, and stalking offenses, or an offense where the defense of guilty but mentally ill was asserted, you may be eligible for early discharge from probation. You have the following rights, sir. You have the right to request an early discharge from probation once you have completed half the original term ordered by the judge. You may request an early discharge from probation after meeting the following conditions. A, you have completed all required probation programming, and you must not violate probation within the 90 days preceding the request. If a hearing is scheduled, you have the right to retain or hire an attorney to represent you for that hearing, but you would not have the right to have court-appointed counsel for a hearing for early discharge from probation. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Lastly, you may make your request for early discharge by completing a notice regarding eligibility for early discharge from probation, which is also the form entitled MC 512. And that form can be located on the court's website, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Do you have any questions?
Not at, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're
Thank
all
you,
set,
City
sir.
Rep.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you. Rick, you can leave the meeting now.
All right.
Good morning, ma'am in the red shirt. What's your name?
Dejanay Parker.
Donnelly, is that your client?
Yes, Your Honor, and I'm ready to proceed.
Shooting me right.
Record in the matter, the people of the city of Lansing versus Dejanay Parker, file number is 22-00099902. I'm sorry, OT, council appearance.
Morning, Your Honor. Amanda Boyle appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing this morning.
An Assistant Public Defender, Sarah Donnelly, on behalf of the defendant, Dejanay Parker, who is appearing separately by Zoom.
Thank you. Today was a date that was set for a pre-trial. We reset this matter, assuming to allow the defendant some opportunities to get their licensing issues in order. How are we proceeding at this time?
Your Honor, at this time, Ms. Parker has provided evidence of her temporary license, and therefore the city moves to dismiss the charge at this time.
Okay, thank you. So this case will be dismissed, Ms. Parker. You're all set. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. I see Ms. Bowen is here with Grove Park. Bach and Mr. Johnson, I'm sorry, Ms. Johnson from Code Compliance. Do you all need a private meeting room?
Sure.
Yes, Your Honor. I think if you could put all of us in the breakout room, myself, including Ms. Johnson, and then also Ms. Berry.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you.
We just joined from an iPhone. Ma'am, what's your name?
Jasmine Brooks.
Ms. Donnelly, did you need to speak to her privately?
Your Honor, we have spoken previously. The only question would be, I have provided proof of, let's see here, I've, to Ms. O'Boyle in regards to a, what's it, the payments, a payment arrangement that she had made. So I don't know exactly, if Ms. O'Boyle would just let us know how much she, else she would need for the offer.
Well, I think my understanding was that she had set up a plan to make payment, but that she has not actually paid off the suspension yet, is my understanding.
It's my understanding that Ms. Brooks, as long as she provides that payment arrangement to the Secretary of State, will get a clearance on the suspension. So I think probably if you wanted to wait to make sure that suspension was cleared.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, Ms. Brooks, did you hear that?
Barely. You guys were going in and out.
All right, well then, Your Honor, we can, let me speak with Ms. Brooks in a breakout room. Thank you.
Yeah, because I was going to say Secretary of State and 55th Court both told me that this installment order should release the dismissal, should release me from this case, and then release the hold on my license. I shouldn't have to keep going through this. I'm being told that this motion was supposed to solve all of this. So
I think she I think she's misunderstanding what the charge is, because the statement that she made was that a payment plan was supposed to release her from this case, and that's not accurate. So we'll put you in a private meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's the little cord that I have to put in. Is your name Zach Kofsky?
Yes, it is.
Which matter are you calling in on?
In regards to the Grove Apartments,
Okay, and what's your relation to the case?
I work for the Five West Group, the management company.
Okay, I'm gonna add you to the breakout room. They're already having a private meeting in there, okay?
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, Ms. Donnelly, I'm not sure how you want to handle this. Were you looking for a new date so that you can get some more information to the city attorney's office?
Your Honor, yes, it's my understanding that Ms. Brooks will be getting her license cleared by the Secretary of State soon, as soon as they get the proof of that installment payment. So I would be asking for an adjournment. We can do this, set it out. I'm expecting what would happen is if I can get the proof, I can submit it to Ms. O'Boyle and then we can get it dismissed before the next court date. So 3 weeks, Your Honor. At least.
June 6th at 10 a.m.
Your Honor, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Do people no longer pay fines and costs for driving while suspended? Or is this something that's just specific to my case? Because this judgment is $6,000. I was also told that if I filed for bankruptcy, that this case would be dismissed through you all. Isn't that the same as asking me for an installment plan and it'll be dismissed, but now I'm being told unless it's paid off, that won't happen? It's confusing.
That your judgment or $6,000 has nothing to do with this case.
Right, and that's why my
have the
license is
judgment on-
suspended.
Right,
That's
I
why
don't
my-
know what
right.
you owe. I don't know what you owe the Secretary of State or why you owe it. I can't speak to that. Ms. Donnelly probably can answer that better because she has your driving record and she can see what you
She
owe.
wasn't able to answer any of those questions for me. I guess my question to you is, if this case is contingent upon that one, but you're saying that it's not, how come I'm not paying fines and costs rather than having to wait until that's settled to I just have this open case? That's my concern. I just have this
Okay,
open
got
case.
it.
Yeah,
So
and I don't
particular
understand.
This particular case is not contingent upon any other case. You got cited with driving while license is suspended because your license is currently suspended. What the city is offering is that if you go and get your license cleared, we can help you address this. They don't have to offer that. They could just
Okay.
prosecute you for this driving while license is suspended. But they would prefer, and I'm speaking for Ms. O'Boyle, but she can correct me. They would prefer that you get your license together so that we don't have a cycle of you keep coming in here with a driving while license is suspended. So they're just gonna hold this open so that you can go and take care of that and then address this. So that's what's happening here, but they're not connected in any way, ma'am.
Okay.
So we'll see you on June 6th. Hopefully that before then, Ms. Donnelly can provide that information to Ms. O'Boyle and this matter can be resolved, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good one. Mrs. Donnelly, did you need to speak to Mr. Newman?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Newman needs to report in person because we've told him multiple times we need his fingerprints. And he's not done that. So I'm not going on the record until he gets here in person, okay?
All right, thank you.
Miss Donnelly, is there something that we could actually talk again for in the breakout room? I'm sorry.
Um, just hold on.
Okay.
Miss Donnelly, were you waiting for something?
I was just going to, Judge Simmons wasn't going to go on the record on this, but I just wanted to make sure that, when Mr. Newman, how long she was going to give him, because, he doesn't have anyone, he's alone at home right now until his grandparents come home and they work till 5. He can do it tomorrow. So I was hoping that she would give him 48 hours to get that done.
Okay, I will let her know.
Okay, thank you. All right, William, I'm gonna call you later.
Okay, so I can just
You can-
disconnect from right for
Yes,
now?
and yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. See you later.
Okay, Ms. Bowen and Mr. Bach. On the record in the matter of Grove Park MS LLC. File numbers 210000891, 892, 893, 894, 895, and 896. Council appearance.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Assistant City Attorney Mary Bowen appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing. Also appearing as well on behalf of the city is Meredith Johnson, Code Compliance Officer.
Yeah, good morning, Ronald Bach here for Grove Park MS LLC. And also we've got here Kathy Berry and Zach Kosky, who are with Grove Park.
Thank you. Today was the date that we reset this matter. We adjourned it for 30 days to allow Grove Park to bring the property into compliance. Do we need further adjournment, or how are we proceeding at this time?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. At this time, a further adjournment will be necessary. I had a chance to speak with Mr. Bach and his client just to get an update on the current outstanding issues. We do know, for example, that mechanical permits have been pulled for 2 of the properties. We know that plumbing inspections are actually scheduled today, so those should be finalized. We do recognize that there are still some outstanding issues. In particular, Your Honor, there are boilers that need to be inspected in both 3610 and 3620 Richmond. I think that's the correct address. And I know that we've spoken with the other party, and they have a 2-week deadline in which to get those boilers inspected. In addition, for buildings 3610 and 3620, we are asking for all trade permits be pulled with the exclusion of the boiler permits. That's a separate stipulation. We're asking that any of those outstanding violations that pertain to 3610 and 3620 be corrected within the next 30 days. And then also Grove Park will provide the city with a weekly synopsis of their progress on any outstanding issues.
Mr. Bach.
That is correct, Your Honor. We had a nice talk. I learned a lot about what's going on at these properties in that breakout room. Sounds like there's some progress and we're getting close to the finish line. Miss Berry's going to keep us all apprised as they get close.
And then it is also my understanding that a roof permit has already been pulled for 3601, but in particular, the city needs to receive a letter from the contractor specifically stating that that particular roof is safe. So that is something else we would need by this Friday.
Okay, so I'll give you another court date 30 days out. Your agreement as to providing updates weekly or these other deadlines, I'll allow you all to monitor that internally. And if there's a need for show cause, we'll address that at that time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
June 27th at 9 a.m. work.
You say June 20, did you say June 27th, Your Honor?
That's correct.
Let me take a look.
That is fine.
I'm just checking my calendar. Yes, that's fine, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Any additional matters for the record today?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor. Thank you.
Nothing from the defendant, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You're all set for today.
Thank you.
Have a great week.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody, okay, I haven't seen Catherine or Caitlin Needham. Does anyone represent Caitlin Needham?
I do, Your Honor.
Have you heard from her?
I have not. I I spoke with her last week. I emailed her this morning trying to locate her. I'm hoping she'll be logging in.
I'm on, Your Honor.
Oh, well, there we go. My apologies, Ms. Nito. I didn't
No,
recognize.
you're fine.
You need to speak to her today?
If I could, please, Your Honor.
Okay, one moment. You have the newbie files? Oh, I have them. I don't. I'm not clear as to what's going on. Ms. Donnelly?
Yes, Your Honor.
You released Mr. Newman. Is he coming in here today?
Your Honor, he is stuck at home without a ride until 5. If the court would withhold, if they let him appear in person tomorrow, he will be able to get there.
Okay, well, the city attorney won't be here tomorrow. Was there going to be a request for additional time, or what were we doing with this?
Yes, it's my understanding, Your Honor, we will be requesting additional time. At this point, I'm looking for a final offer from the city attorney. We had a preliminary offer, given that if you went into a specialty court, at this point, I just want to look for a final offer. So yeah, we would, I didn't have that yet, so I was going to get a time for that for the city attorney to form that.
Sounds good. I'll hold the files for 48 hours, and then when he appears, I'll give him his next court date. We'll email you that date, Ms. O'Boyle.
Thank you.
Okay, who is on the Solero 5G? Who is on the Solero 5G?
I am
What's your name?
Andre Watson.
Okay. Do you have an attorney, Mr. Watson?
No, I do not.
Who's on the Galaxy S20 FE?
Craig R. Pier.
Okay, please start your video. Okay, very good, thank you. And you representing him, Mr. Blackman? Mr. Blackman? You're muted. Can you unmute, please, sir?
I represent Mr. Pierce. Yes.
Okay, very good. Are you ready to proceed, or did you need to meet privately?
No, Judge, I think we're ready to proceed.
Okay. In the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Craig Pier, file number 21-031790D, council appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Amanda O'Boyle appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Fred Blackman on behalf of Mr. Pierce.
Date that was reset for pretrial. This matter was adjourned so that Mr. Blackman can receive some discovery. that was outstanding. Did you get that discovery, Mr. Blackman?
Judge, if I might real quick, my client has done the assessment, but we have not gotten the results back. He did it with Wellness Inc. And there's been no offer at this particular time. That I don't have a problem with it being set for a final pretrial judge in this matter, and we'll try to do what we can up to that point with, I can get with Amanda once I get that.
I'm not gonna set it for final pre-trial just because that requires an 8 a.m. appearance.
Okay,
I'm just gonna set it for another pre-trial.
okay, that's fine, Judge.
When did he have his assessment done?
Last week, Judge.
Give me at least 3 weeks.
We can do June 6th at 9:30.
Does June 6th at 9:30 work for you, Mr. Blackman?
Pardon me, Your Honor?
Does June 6th at 9:30 work for you?
June 6th. Where is June 6th? Oh, I have something with you already. I have Miss Crampton sentencing. So yes, I will be with you.
Perfect. All right, well then we'll see you twice on June 6th.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce.
Thank you.
Thank you. I see Mr. Cervantes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Miss, oh boy, I'm gonna put you and Mr. Watson in a private meeting room.
Thank you, Your Honor.
He's on the iPhone 13.
Oh, me, Your Honor. Ramesses Adams.
I was gonna say, who's me?
Sorry.
Mr. Debs?
Yes, ma'am. Me, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Miss Donnelly, are you representing him?
Yes, Your Honor, and it's my understanding we're ready to proceed.
Well, when the city attorney returns, we'll proceed with the case, okay? Mr. Cervantes, is he represented by Mr. Keithley?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Are we ready on Mr. Watson?
We are, Your Honor.
On the record in the matters of the people of the city of Lansing versus Andre Jamar Watson. I have 3 files here, 21L2689, 211, 212, and 213. Can I have your appearance, counsel?
Good morning, Your Honor. Amanda O'Boyle appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And Mr. Watson, you're appearing without attorney, correct, sir?
Yes.
Today is the date that was set or reset for pretrial. We adjourn this matter so that you can fix your plate issue. How do you want to proceed at this time, Ms. O'Boyle?
Thank you, Your Honor. I did have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Watson in a breakout room. At that time, he was able to show me proof that he was correct with all you cited. And at this time, the city moves to dismiss all tickets.
These matters will be dismissed, sir. You're all set.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Okay, Ms. Donnelly, you ready on Mr. Depps?
Yes, Judge.
On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Ramses Demps. File number is 21-02120OM. Council appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Amanda O'Boyle appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Ramses Demps, who is appearing separately by Zoom.
There was a date that was set for pretrial on this matter. How do you want to proceed on this?
At this time, Your Honor, the city was offering, I believe, a civil infraction of disturbing the peace. Sorry, Your Honor, if that's not 100% accurate, but Mr. Demps would like to accept that civil infraction.
Is it breach of the peace? Is that the one? Please.
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay. You want to accept that offer, Mr. Debs?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's a civil infraction. It's not a criminal charge. And so you don't need to plead guilty. You just would accept responsibility. What you have, your fine is $50. When can you make payment?
Would I be able to set up a payment plan, Your Honor? It's just I currently do not have the money in my account right now, but I will have it next week.
Okay. You're going to pay the full amount next week?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. So sorry.
You know how to make payment online?
No, I figure I'd just come right up to the place and do it, if that was okay.
That works. That's perfectly fine. Well, you can come up next week and make your payment, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're all set.
All right.
In the breakout room? Yeah, he just. Okay, Mr. Keithley, are we ready with Ms. Needham?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Caitlin Needham. File number is 22-00585. Council appearance.
Morning, Your Honor. Amanda O'Boyle appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Keithley, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Caitlin Needham, who is present via Zoom.
Thank you. And today was the date that was set for a pre-trial. We adjourned this matter to allow Ms. Needham to undergo a substance abuse assessment. Are we able to proceed at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Needham did get a substance abuse assessment taken care of. I've provided that over to the city attorney's office. At this time, an offer was extended for Ms. Needham to plead to an amended count of operating while visibly impaired. And my understanding is she intends to accept that offer and plead guilty today.
Is that correct, Ms. Needham? You need to unmute your device. Ms. Needham, can you unmute?
Sorry, Your Honor, yes.
No problem. Is it correct that you want to accept the offer to plead guilty to the amended count of operating while visibly impaired?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you understand that that's a misdemeanor?
Yes.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand? You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay. I think you're raising your left hand.
Oh, God. Wow. Yes, I am. I do apologize. Wow.
You know, with Zoom, I can't tell with view because sometimes you could have it on mirror view, but I did see a ring finger. So that's what made me. No
Oh my
worries.
God.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it again. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
I do.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. Ms. Needham, you're represented by Mr. Keithley from the Office of the Public Defender. You've had an opportunity to discuss this offer. You have the right to proceed to a trial in this matter. You have the right to have a jury trial. At the time of trial, you have the right to have the city bring evidence to prove each element of the charge against you. They have to prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt. If you accept the offer to plead guilty, you would be given up that right. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you will also be given up the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. You'll also be given up the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used to prove or implicate your guilt. You'll be given up the right to question or cross-examine any of the witnesses that the prosecution intends to call. And then you'll give up the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence that you believe would further a defense to the charge. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is anybody making any promises to you to get you to waive your rights today and plead guilty?
No.
Has anybody threatened you to get you to waive your rights and plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty to the charge because you believe you are guilty?
Yes.
Are you currently on probation or parole?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, you understand that a guilty plea could result in a conviction that may need to be reported to your current employer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that a guilty plea can result in a conviction that may have an impact on any immigration status you may be seeking?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you still want to waive your rights, understanding those concerns?
Yes.
Okay, as to the amended charge of operating while visibly impaired, how do you plead, ma'am?
Guilty.
On factual basis.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Needham, on or about January 1st of 2021, were you operating a motor vehicle in the area of North Larch Street and Ash Street in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan?
Yes.
And at that time, while you were operating that motor vehicle, was your operation of the motor vehicles in some way visibly impaired?
Yes.
And was it visibly impaired because you had been consuming alcohol prior to operating the motor vehicle?
Yes.
And did you know it was alcohol when you were consuming it?
Yes.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Any questions from you, Mrs. O'Boyle?
No, Your Honor, the city is satisfied with the factual basis on the record.
The court is also satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea. Find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. I will set this matter for sentencing. Prior to sentencing, you need to report to probation. They're going to provide the court with a pre-sentence report and recommendation, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
You need to report in person, okay?
Okay.
48 hours.
48?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
June 27th at 8:30. June 27th at 8:30 will be your sentencing date, okay?
June 27th. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
And then, no problem. That assessment that you've already undergone should be provided to the probation department so they don't order you to have a new one done, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions?
No.
Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor. Thank you.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, you're all set, Ms. Needham.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too. Are we ready on Mr. Cervantes?
I am ready, Your Honor.
On the record in the matters of people of the city of Lansing versus Bernardo Cervantes Jr., file number 21-035180D. Hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, can you hear me?
I must have missed the part if you were looking for appearances.
I did too.
Amanda O'Boyle.
Counsel appear. Thank you.
Okay. Amanda O'Boyle appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Keithley, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Mr. Cervantes, who is present via Zoom.
Thank you. Today was the date that was set for a pretrial. How are we proceeding on this?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Cervantes, as the court may remember, we adjourned this matter so that Mr. Cervantes could get an alcohol abuse assessment taken care of. He did get that done. I've provided that over to the city attorney, and they have offered for Mr. Cervantes to plead to an amended charge of operating while intoxicated. And my understanding is that Mr. Cervantes would like to accept that offer and plead guilty to that.
Is that correct, Mr. Cervantes?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Okay, thank you. Can I have you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hand down, sir. Mr. Cervantes, you're represented by Mr. Keithley from the Office of the Public Defender. You have the right to proceed to trial in this matter. You have the right to have a jury trial. At the time of trial, you have the right to have the city bring sufficient evidence to prove each element of the charge being brought against you. They have to prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt. If you want to plead guilty to the amended count of operating while intoxicated, you would have to give up your trial right. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You want to give up your trial right today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you also need to give up your right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. You'll be given up the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. You're gonna give up the right to question any witnesses the prosecution intends to call. You're gonna give up the right to call your own witnesses or present any evidence you believe could further a defense to this charge. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you're also gonna give up the right to later make a claim that you pled guilty because someone forced or threatened you to do so. So is anybody forcing you to get you to waive your rights and plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Is anybody promising you anything to get you to waive your rights and plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty to the charge because you believe you are guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you currently on probation or parole?
No.
You understand that a guilty plea can result in a conviction that you may need to report to your employer.
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand that a guilty plea can result in a conviction that may impact the immigration status you're seeking.
Yes, Your Honor.
You still wish to waive your rights here today?
Yes, I do.
Okay, as to the charge of operating while intoxicated, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Have a factual basis.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Cervantes, on or about July 26th of 2020, were you operating a motor vehicle in the area of South Cedar Street and I-496 in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan?
Yes, it was.
And prior to operating that motor vehicle, had you been consuming alcohol?
Yes, I did.
And did you know it was alcohol at the time you were consuming it?
Yes, I did.
And while you were operating that motor vehicle, did you have a blood alcohol content of 0.08 or higher?
Yes.
And that, in fact, was at a 0.260, right?
Yes.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. O'Boyle, any questions?
No additional questions, Your Honor. The city is satisfied with the factual basis on the record.
The court is satisfied with the factual basis, and I'll accept your plea. Find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. This matter is set for sentencing on June 27th, 2022 at 8:30 in the morning. You need to meet with probation within the next 48 hours. You need to report there in person. They're going to set you up for a pre-sentence report to provide to the court in relation to a recommendation for your sentence. Okay, sir?
All right. I understand, Your Honor.
Disobey traffic sign. It's file number 21L2673991. It was a disobey traffic signal.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions today?
No, I do not. Where's the actual, one question. Where's the probation office at?
It's in City Hall. It's on the 5th floor.
Okay, and 48 hours, you got it.
All right. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor. Thank you.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. You're all set, Mr. Cervantes.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
You too, sir.
Yep, bye.
Finally, your client, Mr. Mays, is in the courtroom. Did you need us to get him on Zoom for you?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. It's my understanding that Mr. Mays has done what the court has asked him when it comes to paying it off. I would see and verify that with Ms. O'Boyle.
You know, you know, in the file.
I think Susie did that.
Oh, okay. That's probably not in her. She said she thinks Susie did it. Okay, well, who's on the Moto E? See, Michelle Palacio has logged in.
My name is Rebecca Rose.
Rebecca LaRose. Okay, looks like your camera is frozen. Is that correct, Ms. LaRose?
Yeah, I can't see you guys.
And then Michelle Palacio, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, very good. Mr. Kuthi, are you representing Ms. Palacio?
I am, Your Honor.
Do you need to speak to her?
No, Your Honor, I'm ready to proceed.
Pad 510.1. Can you unmute, please? Sir, can you hear me?
Yes,
What's your name?
Michael Lagarde.
Mr. Lagarde, do you have an attorney?
No, I do not. No, I do not have one.
Okay. Get to your matter in just a moment. If you're smoking or anything, this is a court proceeding, so you're gonna need to put it out, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Ms. Donnelly, are you representing Mr. Rose?
No, Your Honor, I represent Miss LaRose.
Okay, I think she might be frozen, but we probably could proceed with hers as well if you're ready on that one. Okay. On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Rebecca LaRose, file number 20L2545631. Council appearance.
Morning, Your Honor. Amanda O'Boyle appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Keithley, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Rebecca LaRose, who is present via Zoom.
For a pretrial, I think we adjourn to allow the defendant to obtain a license and the city will dismiss. How are we proceeding at this time?
Your Honor, I apologize for this. I didn't catch it when the court asked if I was ready to proceed on this matter. I am going to need to speak with Ms. LaRose. I'm not sure exactly how she's going to want to proceed on it. For the record, there is no offer in this matter.
Okay, sounds good. We'll go off the record on Ms. LaRose. Okay, Ms. Palacio?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
We're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Michelle Palacio, file number 22-004080D. Council appearance.
Morning, Your Honor. Amanda O'Boyle appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Keithley, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Michelle Palacio, who is present via Zoom.
Thank you. Today's the date that was set for free trial. We adjourn this matter so that the defendant could get a substance abuse assessment. How are we proceeding on this?
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, I'm going to have to request a further adjournment for the same purposes. Ms. Palacio has been working on trying to get an assessment. She has been in touch with a number of assessing agencies. Unfortunately, she's been finding that a number of the agencies apparently listed on the court's approved list of assessing agencies no longer do them for court purposes. And some of the places she has been in contact with just aren't getting back to her. I did refer her to a specific agency when we spoke about it today. I'm anticipating that we probably won't need a further adjournment for that purpose, but at this point, we don't have the assessment and we would be requesting a little more time in order to get it.
Okay, very good. Give your new date. 30 days. June 27th at 9:30. Adjourn to June 27th at 9:30. Any additional matters on this file?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor. Thank you.
Nothing additionally, Your Honor. Thank you.
Right.
See you on June 27th. I'm going to put
Mr.
Ms. LaRose in your meeting room. Can you hear me, Ms. Palacio?
Yes, I can, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go then.
Can I say one thing? Mr. Keithley, we were,
To me or to your attorney?
well, kind of to both. He was going to address my license today.
Oh, my apologies. I completely forgot. Thank you for reminding me, Ms. Palacio. Your Honor, there's an outstanding issue regarding Ms. Palacio's license in this matter. My understanding from sort of looking over the ROA in this matter and speaking with her is that there was an issue of her initially failing to appear for an arraignment. I believe the issue there was that the notice got sent to the wrong address or something of that nature. As such, the court suspended her license in order and filed that with the Secretary of State's office. She's of course since been arraigned. She otherwise would have a valid license, and the issue is that there's the outstanding $45 license clearance fee in this matter. And we would be asking that the court waive that. I know Ms. Palacio tried to come down to the court in order to just pay the clearance fee, but there was some issue in terms of, since she hadn't been convicted, the court wasn't in a position to accept the payment or something like that. At this time, we would just be asking that the court waive the license clearance fee in this matter.
On this file, it looks like she failed to appear for arraignment on February 24th. Is that what you're talking about?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll waive the fees. I'll note it here on the file.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Any additional questions, Ms. Palacio?
Yeah, so does that mean that now I can just go down there and have it reinstated?
At the Secretary of State, yes, I'm gonna have you gotta give us a chance to get the file processed here. And
Right.
then they'll send the clearance and over to Secretary of State.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Have a good one, ma'am.
Thanks, you too.
Okay, I'm gonna put Ms. Palacio in room, I'm sorry, Ms. LaRose in room 1. Or did I put the wrong person in room 1? Don't mind me. Okay. Okay, Ms. Lagarde, you can still hear me, correct?
So what?
Okay, very good. Ms. Donnelly, I'm not sure what we said we were doing on Mr. Mays. Ms. Boyle, did you need to look the file up? Is that what was going on?
I did, Your Honor.
Oh.
Believe we should be able to proceed.
Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Daniel Eric Mays. File number is 21-00021OT. Council appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Amanda O'Boyle appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Daniel Mays, who is appearing in person.
Thank you. You can be seated, sir. Today is the date that was set for a pretrial. We adjourned this matter to allow him an opportunity to get his license reinstated. How are we proceeding at this time?
Your Honor.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. We had discussions with defense counsel regarding paying off a 2020 ticket. I was able to confirm that that ticket was paid off and the defendant should be eligible to obtain his valid license. Therefore, at this time, the city moves to dismiss the charge.
I think he's got his valid license in person here today. He's holding it up in the air.
I know where the camera,
Okay.
she could see it.
They can't see it. They can only see me.
Okay.
Okay, he does have a license that was issued on April 22nd. Here you go. So the city's moving to dismiss, okay, sir?
Yeah, thanks.
You're all set.
And apologize again and thank you for the hallway incident a couple weeks ago.
No problem, I recognize.
I'm just glad you came out and you took care of it though, so I mean, I can't justify my actions that day, but no, it shouldn't have been so loud, but.
Yeah,
You
there's a
took
way to
care
get
of
the
it.
help when you're under that kind of stress. I recognize that, you know, your license was impacting a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Just, we can't abuse our staff to get the results.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, good luck, sir.
All right. Leave it up.
Okay, and I'm gonna put you in a private meeting room with Mr. Lagarde, so for help. You're in room 2, let me move, Mr. Lagarde, I have to move you to room 3, okay?
All right.
Mr. Keithley, are you representing Mr. Malduhana?
Mr. Manduano, Your Honor?
Eduardo Manduhana?
Yes,
Okay, did you need to speak to him privately?
if I could, please.
Okay, we'll get him on Zoom for you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Record in the matter, the people of the city of Lansing versus Michael Louis Lagarde, file number is 22-00866, 22-00867, and I have 22L271132. Council appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Amanda O'Boyle appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Thank you. Today was the date that was set for a retrial. How do we want to proceed on this?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I was able to speak with Mr. Lagarde in a breakout room. At that time, we reached a resolution in this matter. Mr. Lagarde was able to show proof of his license, registration, and insurance. At this time, the city moves to dismiss all pending charges.
Okay, very good. These cases will be dismissed, sir. You're all set.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Mr. Keithley, are you still there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. LaRose?
I'm ready to go with Ms. LaRose, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Rebecca LaRose, the file number is 20L2545631. Council appearance.
Morning, Your Honor. I'm Amanda O'Boyle appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Keithley, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Rebecca LaRose, who is present via Zoom.
Today's the date that was set for pretrial. How do we want to proceed on this?
Thank you, Your Honor. As I stated earlier, there is no offer on this matter. We would be asking this matter be set for trial.
Speaking to final pretrial June 6th. I'm not doing a final pretrial. 6 at 8 o'clock in the morning in person at the court, okay?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I didn't catch that date.
June 6th, 8 o'clock in the morning in person at the court, okay, Ms. LaRose? Ms. LaRose, did you catch that information?
June 6th at 8 a.m.?
Correct. In
Yes,
person.
ma'am. Yes.
Okay, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, any additional matters for the record?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor. Thank you.
No, Your Honor. Thank
You're
you.
all set. Thank you, you're all set. Who's supposed to be calling from the jail? Is it Smith? Ariana Smith? Okay, let's see what happened to these people that didn't appear earlier. Anybody know where Patrice Drainville is? Oh, that might have been this is a motion. Isn't this Zaney's thing? This is Edward Zaney's case. I don't know if you received notice because neither are gonna hear. Friday too, but neither he or his client is here. So if we have, Sean reset that, because I don't know if they got notice. What's your name, sir?
Arya Smith.
Oh. Is that your client, Miss Donnelly?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Do you need to speak to him?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Hi, sir. What's your name?
My name's Craig Conklin.
Okay. Do you have an attorney at all?
I do not, ma'am.
Okay, I'll put you in the private meeting room with the assistant city attorney, okay?
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Do I hit join?
Yes, please. Mr. Keithy, we put your other client in room 1.
Oh, thank you, Your Honor.
No problem.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'm not getting any sound from him. It doesn't look like he's not connected to the audio, but or that he's muted. It's just there's no sound.
Okay, I'm gonna send Mr. Bigelow down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. You know? Can we take somebody else's iPad? Okay, are we ready on Mr. Smith?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we're on the record in the matter, the people of the city of Lansing versus Ariane Tyler Smith. File number is 21L2614661OT. Council appearance, please.
Morning, Your Honor. Amanda O'Boyle appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
An Assistant Public Defender, Sarah Donnelly, on behalf of the defendant, Ariane Smith, who is appearing separately from Ingham County Jail.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Today's the date set for a pretrial on a failure to display operator's license. How are we proceeding on this, Ms. Donnelly?
Your Honor, at this time, I do not have an offer for Mr. Smith. If there is no offer, Mr. Smith would like to plead guilty as charged. He is going to be doing some time in Ingham County Jail and would not have an opportunity to get a license at this time.
Oh, so, Ms. O'Boyle.
Your Honor, the offer would simply be if we want to, I don't know for how long he's in jail, but opportunity for him to attempt to obtain his license. However, if he wants to resolve it today, there would be no offer today.
So your client wants to plead guilty today, Ms. Donnelly?
Yes, he is understanding he'll be in jail for a year, so, yes.
Okay. And that's correct. Mr. Smith, you want to plead guilty to the charge of failure to display ops?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Mr. Smith, you have the right to be represented by counsel. You are represented by Mrs. Donnelly from the Office of the Public Defender. You have the right to proceed to trial in this matter. You have the right to have a jury trial. You have the right to question or cross-examine any witness the prosecution intends to call. You have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence that you believe would further a defense to the charge. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And you have the right to have the prosecution prove each element of the charge against you. If you want to plead guilty, you're going to give up those rights today. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Is anybody making any promises to you to get you to waive your rights here today and plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Anybody threatening you to get you to waive your rights and plead guilty?
Yes.
Who's threatening you?
Oh, nobody, I didn't hear you clear. I'm sorry.
Okay, I said, is anybody threatening you to get you to waive your right to plead guilty?
No, ain't nobody threatening me.
Oh, okay, very good. Okay. As to the charge of failure to display ops, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
Have a factual basis?
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, Mr. Smith, on February 24th, 2021, at around 12:25 p.m., were you operating a vehicle upon South Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard at or near Hammond in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, Michigan?
Yes.
And at that time, were you stopped by a Lansing Police Department?
Yes.
And did you have a valid operator's license on you at that time?
No, I just have my ID.
Did you at that time you did not have a valid license?
No, I didn't have a valid license.
And do you have a valid license now?
No, I don't.
All right. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Any additional matters for the prosecutor?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea. Find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. Typically, a fine on this matter is $200. I'll refer it to collections. I know you're going to be in custody for a year. Okay, sir?
Yes.
Okay, you're all set. This is Mr. Cardenas' phone ringing. If not, where's the interrupter? Are we ready on Mr. Manduhana?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can come up to the table, sir. Yeah, but where is my concern? We asked administration to see if they can get it. Okay. We're on the record in the matter of the people the city of Lansing versus Eduardo Mandujano, file number 22-004070D. Council appearance.
Morning, Your Honor. Amanda O'Boyle appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Keithley, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Eduardo Manduano, who is present in the courtroom.
Mr. Mandujano. Okay, today's the date that's set for pre-trial. We adjourn this matter because there was not yet a report ready for the assessment. Are we ready to proceed at this time?
Unfortunately, no, Your Honor. Mr. Manduano and I have sort of kept crossing paths on actually getting a copy of the report to me. I have been able to confirm, I got an email directly from the assessment provider confirming that he had done a report, or had done an assessment. However, they weren't able to share a copy of the assessment with me, which was deeply unhelpful. I have made arrangements with Mr. Manduano to come over to my office, and he actually apparently has it with him today. I expect I'll be able to get a copy of it today and provide it over to the city attorney. On that basis, I'm requesting a very short adjournment, 1 or 2 weeks, in order to be able to get that, review it, and provide it over to the city attorney's office.
May 23rd at 11. We'll reset it for May 23rd at 11 a.m. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor. Thank you.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You're all set. We'll get you a new court date, okay, sir? Thank you. We're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Craig Conklin, file number 22-010230M. Council appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Amanda O'Boyle appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Thank you. And Mr. Conklin, you're proceeding without an attorney, correct? You're muted, sir. I can't hear you.
Yes, that is correct, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Today was the date that was set for a pre-trial on a trespass matter. You met privately with Ms. O'Boyle. Mr. O'Boyle, how are we proceeding on this?
Yes, Your Honor. I did have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Conklin in a breakout room. At that time, we reached a resolution in this matter. At this time, the city moves to amend the charge from trespass to the breach of peace civil infraction, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Conklin, this is a civil infraction that's being offered to you. It's not a criminal matter. You don't have to plead guilty. You would just accept responsibility or not accept responsibility. Did you want to accept responsibility to the breach of peace civil infraction at this time?
Yes, ma'am, 100%.
Okay. Your fine is $50. When can you make payment?
Today.
Are you gonna make payment online, or you can come in person to make payment?
Okay. I'm just down the street, so it depends. Do I need to tell you if I'm doing it online?
Nope, that's up to you. If you do it online, there may be a processing fee. If you're right down the street, you can just come up to the window and make the payment, okay?
Okay, I'll do that probably. Thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you. You're all set.
All right, appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye. Am I done?
Yes, you're all set, sir.
All right.
Mr. Gager, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Mr. Keithley, is that your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Need to speak to him privately?
If I could, please, Your Honor.
Room 1, okay.
Did I leave?
You're in the right place, Mr. Cater.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Anybody
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Okay, sir, your case is non-public, so I'm going to put you back in the waiting room until the courtroom is clear, so Judge Simmons can call your case, all right?
All right.
Hey, Addie or Nick,
Yes, ma'am.
can I get a private breakout room with Raquisha, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Looks like you're already in a room, so I'll just add her to yours.
Okay, Ms. O'Boyle. Okay, we don't know what happened to the interpreter. Cardenas. I don't know if you have access to his driving record, if you can see if it's been cleared or not. I'm gonna have to reset this matter though, because the interpreter did not appear. Thank you. It's gonna be May 23rd at 11. So we'll get you a new court date, okay? The 23rd, 23.
Yeah.
We'll print it for you, okay? Are we ready on Cager?
We were? Oh, there he is.
Cager, can you hear us? Can you hear us, sir? Mr. Cager? I can't hear anything. Can you hear me, Mr. Cager? Can you say, I can't hear you. Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
I can, thank you. We're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Devon Terrell Cager, file number 21-02784 OD. Council appearance.
Morning, Your Honor. Amanda O'Boyle appearing on behalf of City of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Keithley, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Mr. Cager, who is present via Zoom.
Thank you. Today's the date set for a pretrial. How are we proceeding on this?
Thank you, Your Honor. An offer was extended to Mr. Cager to plead guilty to, I believe it was counts 1 and count 4 in this matter. That would be the operating while intoxicated count and the count of hinder, oppose, resist, and obstruct. This time, Mr. Cager would like to reject that offer and have this matter set for trial.
Okay, you just give me a trial date on this. June 13th at 8:15. Trial will be June 13th at 8:15 in person at the court.
Okay.
Okay, and the last day for an offer on that will be 1 week prior to the trial, okay? Any plea on that?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Yes, the last day to accept a plea on that will be by June 6th. If the day of the trial, I'm not accepting a plea, we're proceeding with trial, okay?
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, and then the other file here, file number 21-02934, there's a driving while license is suspended. How are we handling that one?
Your Honor, I don't know that there was an offer extended in relation to this file specifically. We would be asking that this simply be adjourned out past that June 13th date in order to seek some sort of a resolution on the earlier file.
Your Honor.
Yes.
cases. It's great.
The plea offer encompassed both driving while license suspended charges. It was an offer to dismiss both DWLS charges. I would ask that the matter simply coincide with the other jury trial.
Well, can I also say something, Your Honor?
Mr. Cager, it'd probably be best if you didn't.
I mean, it's already said. I mean, I know what to say. It's cool with me.
Okay,
But-
well, I just want to advise you, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say could be used against you. So
Yes,
as long as you
ma'am.
don't say anything that's gonna be self-incriminating, sir, you can proceed.
Of course not. Well, with them cases right there, what they're talking about on one of those, due to COVID, I was told that I was okay with that, and somehow it got brought back up like after a year, and as far as my case too, everybody talking about they offering me something, but I don't understand how every time I get offered something, it's like when we come to court, the day of court, like I don't never have a chance to say anything to nobody, like it's just right here at court, like I see you for this little time and then I'm off. And then I call down there and try to get a hold of someone, and I still don't get a hold of no one until the day of court. So I'm not really getting represented right. You know what I'm saying? Like for me to just feel like I should take any plea, ain't nobody on my side really. You know what I mean? So
I'm just trying to make sure I understand your concern. Were you talking about you're not getting in touch with anyone at the court, or you're not?
yeah, because my concern is, I'm sorry, Your Honor, my concern is mainly.
Sir,
yes?
I'm trying to clarify. Are you talking about getting in touch with someone at the court? Or are you talking about getting in touch with your attorney? Because your attorney is not in this building.
Getting in touch with whoever representing me,
That's your attorney, and they're not in this building.
Right. And I have called down there, and and they point me back to this building. That's what I was saying. Like I've been taking all these, it's been going on for like almost a year. I've been calling around trying to talk to someone about it, but I never can talk to somebody until the day I go to court. And it's like, it's kind of frustrating because I can never really say what I need to say. And I don't know, I'm just getting offered pleas. I'm like, man, you ain't even hear what I have to say. Like I'm just guilty or something. Like, how would you know if I don't want no plea anyways? Like I would rather take it that way if I'm not getting a plea.
You're innocent, sir. You're innocent until proven guilty, and it's the responsibility is on the city to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And
right.
So it's typical for the city to, if they have an offer, to provide that information to whoever's representing you, and then they need to advise you that there is an offer here. It's your decision if you want to waive your rights and accept the offer. In this case, you have not decided to do that. And again, that's within your rights. And so then you'll proceed to trial. As you prepare for trial, I think you'll find that you and your attorney it'll be necessary for you to have far more interaction and discussion to prepare your defense.
We don't never have these discussions. That's what's wrong, because like I could be taking the right step and I could be taking the wrong. Well, I wouldn't know because we don't get to talk until we go to court, and it's like 2 minutes and I got to rush over there. That ain't enough time to go over everything. You know what I'm saying? That's not right. I feel
that's not sufficient time for you to discuss, or have an opportunity to even consider an offer. And
right.
So
and it's been like
request, well, I know you had a different attorney previously. I don't have any information. I don't know if one of these cases was a reissue. I don't have any information before me that lets me see that this case was previously dismissed.
It was.
COVID.
I got papers here that I can bring in. Like it was dismissed, like fully dismissed. And this is my main thing, because I'm not trying to incriminate myself, but when they dismiss it, and from my understanding, like I know that you can dismiss a case and bring it back up, right? And you can put new charges on, but not when you like getting pulled over, like right there. Like the case is just so crazy. And it's like, I'm trying to explain it to someone. It's like, I can't even talk. I'm just jumping right into trial. I have not been talking like all this time. It's been adjourned. I have not been talking to my attorney. It's just every time I come, take this plea or never mind, we can adjourn. And I'm like, well, and I asked him, I say, well, would I be able to speak to you again before court? Because these is my problems. And it's like, yes, I'll be speaking with you for sure. And I understand it's very busy and I'm not, you know what I'm saying, that important because it's a lot of other stuff going on. But from my understanding, like, I feel like you should make time for me in that time too, besides when I'm in court. like 2 minutes to 3 minutes to take a plea. I don't even understand what he's saying right now. I gotta think about what he's telling me.
You have to
You know,
have
he's
time to
just
process
dropping this
that.
on me.
You have
Right.
to
I
have
don't
time to process it. And I don't, unless your number has changed, there should be a way, or there should have been some communication prior to you arriving here today.
having anything changed about me since this case, having anything, my location, my phone number, my email account, nothing. I don't get nothing but just here in court. This is all we do. And this is why I'm on here for that long, so I can try to say, get it out on how I feel. And hopefully that it like get me the help that I need.
Okay. One thing, you know, you have the right to have representation, and you have the right to have effective representation. I'm not by any means implicating or allowing you to believe that you don't have effective representation, because I believe that you do. I need you to understand, I think you do to an extent, that the public defenders do all have a lot of cases and they're moving very quickly. And so whether or not there's opportunities all the time for them to have a conversation before you arrive the day of court, it's not always feasible. I think in circumstances such as this, because you've been here a number of times, this should not be a concern, because you've had 2 different attorneys from the public defender's office. There should have been a time, even considering the fact that there had to be a change in who's representing you, there should have been some time taken to have a substantial conversation with you.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm being treated poorly, Your Honor. And that's my whole thing here, because I know when I'm being represented, right? I've seen people who represent, right? And I understand people busy, like you said, but it's almost been a year. Like I can't get my license because of this still. It's just a lot of stuff pending with this, you know? So it's just really pushing me back. Like every time they adjourn it and I can't do nothing about it, I'll be like, oh man, again. And I've been waiting patiently. I mean, I'm tired of waiting, you know, and not to be disrespectful or sound rude to you. It's just like when my attorney or whoever my lawyer is or whatever, when we talk, it's just in court and we going, and then it's coming back with the pleas. It's like, I'm not being treated fairly at all when it comes down to that.
Okay, well, again, Mr. Keithley is here. He hears the concerns.
I told him this before. No disrespect. I told him this the last time he adjourned it. He said he'd get in touch with me before the day of court. That's why I'm really saying it around him.
And
So
Mr. Cager's correct on that. Unfortunately, I was unable to do it. I've had this case for a relatively short time, Your Honor. I understand that Mr. Cager's case has been pending for some time. However, the assignment to me came relatively late in the game. However, I know, looking over the notes, he's had extensive contacts with APD Donnelly in regards to this matter. Additionally, Your Honor, when I have spoken with Mr. Cager, as he represented on the record today, he's not interested in an offer. He's not interested in taking a plea. There really isn't a lot to discuss in terms of facts leading up to preparations for trial in this matter if he's not really interested in any kind of an offer or negotiations. So at this point, we're requesting that the matter be set for trial.
Your Honor, I told him off Bill. So I'm like, see what he just said there is, it's like, how is you trying to offer me something without reviewing my case? You giving me, I don't think that's the best offer. I tell him I will take one, but I wouldn't take the one that you was
He's
giving
not
me.
giving you the offer, just to be
I
so we're
understand
clear. The city is giving the offer. He's just communicating it to you. Mr. Keithley is happy to take it to trial if that's what you want.
I mean, yes, if he's going to represent me, I mean, if you can communicate
I
better
can
with
assure
me,
Mr.
that'll
Keithley
be.
is very capable and has been successful in representing clients before. He's very capable. If you're making it clear that you're not interested in an offer, he's happy to
Not
take
the
it to
one
trial.
not the one they gave me, no, ma'am.
Okay, so then there's really not much that he could do prior to a trial anyways. Now, as you prepare for trial, if there's additional information that he needs that is not covered through this discovery, I'm sure you'll have meetings and you'll discuss it further. You have a right to participate in your defense. But at this point, it was a pretrial. And so at the pretrial stage, we're really discussing whether or not there's an offer, unless you have some reason or some information that is sufficient enough that could provide Mr. Keithley with a basis to file a motion, which it doesn't sound like that's the case.
Right.
Okay, so Mr. Keithley and you will be in communication, but sir, if you find it's coming close to your trial date and you've not had any communication, you can feel free to contact the public defender's office, or you can notify the court that you are having an issue with getting in contact with your attorney. I don't believe that will be an issue, but I don't want you to leave here today and not think that you have a recourse if it does become an issue, okay?
Right.
Okay,
Yes. Thank you.
you're welcome. So we'll see you in person on June 13th, okay, sir?
Your Honor,
Yes.
Yes.
I apologize. We didn't actually, to the best of my knowledge, resolve the issue as to the scheduling of the just the DWLS file. I understand that Ms. O'Boyle would like to continue it on the same schedule as the other case that is currently set for trial. Of course, there isn't a realistic possibility that we're going to be running these trials together, nor should we be running these trials together. They're not factually related as I can see it. Separate
You're
from the
not, I'm
fact.
just gonna set it, I'm not gonna set it for a trial on that date. I'm setting for a pretrial.
Right,
The
thank you.
DWLS will be a pretrial on the 13th. Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
no problem. Any additional matters for the record?
Thank you to the city, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Cager.
Okay. Thank you too.
Ms. Wilkes. Here. Are you having a hearing on Ms. Wilkes?
No, Your Honor, it'll be a plea.
Okay. On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Lucretia Wilkes, the file number is 20-00515OD. Council appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Amanda O'Boyle, appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
An assistant public defender, Sarah Donnelly, on behalf of the defendant, Raquisha Wilkes, who is appearing separately by Zoom.
Thank you. Today's the date that was set for a hearing on a violation of probation. My understanding is that there will not be a hearing today. And so the violation that was previously arraigned on alleges that Ms. Wilkes violated the terms of her probation by failing the requirements of the random testing at Adam on January 18, 2022, and testing positive for THC, that she failed the requirements of random testing also on January 18th by having a positive ETG, ETS, and that she failed the requirements of a random testing at Adam on January 31st by testing positive for THC. And also on January 31st, she failed the requirements of the random testing by testing positive for the ETG. And so is she going to be pleading guilty to all of those?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, is that correct, Ms. Wilkes?
Yes.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. Ms. Wilkes, you have the right to proceed to a contested hearing on this violation of probation. You have the right to be represented by counsel, and you are represented by Ms. Donnelly today for the violation proceeding. She indicates that she would like to waive your right to have the contested hearing. And with that, I hope you understand that there could be additional sanctions that come into play. You could have an extension of probation. You could be sentenced to jail time. Those are all possibilities if you waive your rights and enter a guilty plea to the violations. Do you understand?
Yes.
And you wish to waive that right to a hearing today?
Yes.
Is anybody threatening you to get you to waive your right to hearing and plead guilty to the violations?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything if you plead guilty to the violation?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you believe you're guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
As to violation number 13, January 18th, as to the allegation that you tested positive for THC, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And as to violation number 13, also from January 18th, that you tested positive for ETG, ETS, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And as to violation number 13, from January 31st, 2022, alleging you tested positive for THC, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Then lastly, violation number 13, alleging that you tested positive for ETG, ETS on January 31st, 2022. How do you plead?
Guilty.
On a factual basis, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Wilkes, as a condition of your probation, were you advised that you were not allowed to be using marijuana or alcohol?
Yes.
All right, and also as a requirement to your probation, you had to submit to random urine drug screens. Was it twice a month?
Yes.
All right. So on or before January 18th of this year, did you knowingly use marijuana and alcohol?
Yes.
About how much did you use before those dates?
The marijuana in particular, I smoked like a joint like the day before. I actually have doctor's paperwork for that I ended up actually sending to my probation officer, but that's not here nor there. And far as the alcohol, I was like maybe a few days before that.
Did you have at the time, did you have a valid license or medical marijuana card?
At the time, no.
All right. And then how much alcohol had you been drinking before January 18th?
To be honest with you, you said before that date?
Yeah.
Oh, none actually. I was doing really good.
Before January 18th?
Yeah.
All right. You acknowledge that you tested positive for alcohol on January 18th, correct?
Yes.
Do you know when your last usage of alcohol was before that date?
Like a couple days before that.
Okay. And then
that day might have been, no, I'm thinking the other one. Might have been that day. I may even like I'm pretty sure a couple days before that. That one, the other one, I'm sure I was, yeah.
Yeah, so for less than 2 weeks later on the 31st, you had smoked, had you smoked marijuana before that Monday test?
Yes.
All right. And had you drank before that Monday test?
Yes.
All right. And about how much of each did you consume?
I couldn't even, to be honest with you, as far as the alcohol, I really couldn't tell you. I know after I came out of rehab, I know it wasn't that much because I couldn't do it if I wanted to because I had that Vivitrol in me, shot. The exact amount I really couldn't even, like I'm thinking hard is, I don't know what to, but I couldn't, yeah.
All right. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
I'm sorry, what was that, huh?
Oh, she was talking to me. She said she had no further question.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea to the violations. I find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. Recommendation is to terminate probation status. It says that the defendant is in Allen County Jail for 30 days, which is in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's supposed to be discharged on the 11th of March, and that the defendant is also on tether in Eaton County. She's still on tether in Eaton County?
Yes, Your Honor, she is currently on bond for an offense since last August in Eaton County, and she has a meeting with someone for sobriety court in Charlotte tomorrow morning. So she's on a scram tether.
Okay, so I'm going to terminate the probation status. There is $779.67 that's owed. I'm going to refer that to collections, okay, Ms. Wilkes?
Your Honor, there was a bond posted in this matter. I don't know if it was posted by Ms. Wilkes, but
It was posted by me.
Okay.
What's the $790?
That's from your fines and costs that was ordered when you were put on probation.
Yeah, I paid that. Already. Yeah.
It's in her name? I don't have a receipt.
Yeah, I got the receipt to that because she told me I had to do it in person.
They should have had a receipt in the file for me, because then I could know if the bond is in your name or if someone else posted it on your behalf. You say you posted it in your name?
Yeah, I have the receipt, hon. The court gave me. Yeah, I posted cash.
Okay, you want to apply that bond to the balance that you owe?
What's
There's my understanding that she doesn't have a balance. Mr. Han on his the probation slip says that she's paid off.
Oh, okay, sounds good. You said that, okay, so then if you don't have a balance, the $300 will be released back to you, okay, ma'am?
Okay. Now, how does that work?
Let me make sure we have a valid address for you, because they'll send a check in the mail. Are you still at the address in Fort Wayne?
No, you talking about my mom's house?
Yeah, we had an address in here. It says that you were at an address in Fort Wayne, Indiana on Carew Street.
Oh, no, that was the rehab, hon. No, I'm definitely out of there. Yeah, yeah, that was rehab.
What's your address, ma'am?
You could, you know what? 3407, and that's Brayburn, BRAEBURN Drive, and that's right in Lansing, 48911.
Okay, very good. Okay, so that bond will be released and a check can be mailed to that address. Do you have any questions?
I do.
Yes, ma'am.
I know I just was telling my lawyer some things that I had came up with. I don't know if there's any way that I can speak at possibly one of the victim impact panels or a highway safety class to people like me. Because I do wholeheartedly believe anyone that takes a drink and get behind the wheel is dealing with mental issues. And I just want to be able to reach out to them and let them know that it's okay and to try to get some help for it.
Okay, so
Self-medication is not the way.
So they said you'll be able to be a resource. I can't order that. I can't connect that for you, but I appreciate your willingness to want to help other people who have been in situations such as you, so that they can know that they have an issue and address it in the way that you're trying to do now. But your attorney can try to make some connections so that when they do need guest speakers or people to help encourage, they'll have a way to get in contact with you. Okay, ma'am?
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Okay, very good. Do you have any other questions?
No, that was it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. You're all set. Good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, does anybody know where Mr. Goins is?
Oh, I gotta leave, huh?
Unfortunately, I do not, Your Honor. Attempted to contact him last week. I have not received any response. I would note, Your Honor, I believe that this was going to end up being a dismissal. Mr. Goins,
Okay, I think that's correct. I just got a printout that says the city is moving to dismiss.
I recognize Mr. Goins has not appeared, but we would be asking that the court go ahead and dismiss this anyway.
It's been dismissed.
Thank you.
Okay, what about Marquez Robinson?
I have not heard anything from Mr. Robinson, Your Honor.
Bench warrant on Robinson. Okay, let's see.